Have you seen the guy who's not sleeping? It's getting bad. What? What's going on anymore, man?
He was caught harassing a Filipina. He tried grabbing the cap of a security guard, as you can see there.
But just please don't do what I did. Please don't be that stupid. I don't know what to do, you know? Life was going so good.
There really are streamers in the world who don't care about the rules. They don't care even if they put themselves in danger. And all that matters to them is having a lot of viewers. So today here on Noel Polo TV, we're going to talk about streamers who are willing to do anything just for views. But before we start, if you're new to our channel, make sure to subscribe so you'll always be updated with videos like this. Normie. Normie became popular because of the way he puts himself through hardships on camera. He goes through extreme challenges and then live streams them for everyone to watch. In 2024, Normie made an announcement. He plans to stay awake straight for 12 days. He wants to set a new world record, and he called it the Staying Awake for 12 Days World Record Live. But that challenge is pointless because that record has long been gone. In 1997, Guinness World Records banned all world records related to staying awake for long periods. Why? Because it's dangerous and can be fatal. According to scientific studies, even a small lack of sleep can have negative effects on a person's mental and physical health. There were also others who tried to break the staying awake record before, and most of them developed health problems that lasted for almost 10 years. And in Normie's case, even if he succeeds, it still won't count as an official record, but he doesn't care. Normie started his stream on YouTube. His goal was to last 12 days without even a second of sleep, with the whole world watching. At first, the stream was fun, and Normie still felt fine, but as the days went by, the effects of extreme exhaustion started to show. He spoke more slowly. He often stared blankly into space. He also started experiencing hallucinations. Viewers begged him to stop the challenge for his own safety. Some even tried to find out where he was so they could send medical help. Eventually, YouTube started to worry. They didn't want a medical emergency on their platform, so they shut down Normie's stream. At that point, he had been awake for 250 hours. He only had 12 hours left, but he gave up. So Normie started a new live stream on Kick. Many believe that Kick's rules are more lenient compared to YouTube, but even Kick thought what Normie was doing was too dangerous, so they also stopped the stream. After that, they even banned Normie so he couldn't stream there again. But he still didn't give up. He moved to another platform called Rumble. At that point, he could barely hold on. His brother tried to keep him awake by pouring water on him and making him stand up from time to time. But somehow he did it. He stayed awake for 264 hours and 56 minutes. He broke the previous world record. After that, Normie slept for 38 straight hours, and surprisingly, it seemed like he didn't have any serious health problems. Clips from his stream went viral online. Suddenly, Normie's name spread all over the internet. But that wasn't the end of it. After 2 months, Normie did another challenge. He planned to stay in complete darkness for 30 days, and of course, he would live stream the entire experience. The room he stayed in was extremely dark. The only reason viewers could see anything was because of the infrared camera. The room also contained nothing but a mattress and some basic supplies. But the longer he stayed in the dark, the scarier it became. He started talking to the camera while trying to guess how many days had passed. By the 22nd day, he was already biting the door as if he was losing his mind. Viewers thought he had completely lost his mind. Finally, the 30th day arrived. His friends pulled him out of the dark room. The audience watched as he saw light for the first time after 30 days. Normie did all of that just for the views. And it was effective. Now, he has over 1 million subscribers on YouTube, and he continues to do unusual challenges. Poseidon. Poseidon became famous around 2016. He is known for live streaming while getting involved in all sorts of trouble in different places around Los Angeles. The more mischief he did, the higher his views got. And one day, he came up with a new idea. He said this would be the wildest live stream he had ever done. In 2018, Ice launched the RV road trip. He convinced 14 streamers to get on an RV and travel to different parts of the country. They live-streamed 24/7. No breaks, no filter. It didn't take long before the inside of the RV turned into a war zone. Every day there were fights, and the viewers online only fueled it even more. It even reached the point where one streamer was kicked off the RV and left in the middle of the desert. The whole trip turned into a circus, and Ice Poseidon was the ringmaster. It's like he knew the trip would be a disaster, so he deliberately stirred things up just for the views. A few years after the first RV trip, he set out on another adventure. In 2023, he flew to Bangkok. His goal was simple. He wanted to create unique content that would go viral online. But Thailand is different from America, and he almost ended up in jail because of his live stream. One night, Ice and his girlfriend were eating at a restaurant. Afterwards, they came up with a unique idea. He wanted to wear lingerie and dance inappropriately in front of his girlfriend right in the middle of a crowded restaurant. And of course, it was live streamed. As strange as it sounds, they really did it. As the views and reactions online kept increasing, there was one thing that Ice didn't think about. Thailand is very strict when it comes to public decency laws. Dancing inappropriately in a public place is not just rude for them, it's also illegal. The restaurant manager was furious. He accused the two of disrespecting Thai culture. Someone called the police. And before the night ended, Ice Poseidon was arrested. He was charged with distributing obscene content, which carries a penalty of up to 5 years in prison in Thailand. But Ice was lucky. He was only jailed for a few weeks and was forced to make a public apology. After that, he was released after paying a $12,000 bail. Ice's lap dance stream did get views, but it also led to his arrest in another country. iShowSpeed. iShowSpeed is only 20 years old, but he already has over 4.2 billion views online. And the reason? You can never guess what he'll do next. Sometimes he barks, growls, screams, or suddenly dances in front of the webcam for no reason. His unpredictability is what made him famous. But as more people watched, he also raised the level of craziness in his content. On July 4, 2022, Independence Day in America, Speed decided to celebrate while live streaming. But the way he celebrated was extremely dangerous. He lit a huge Pikachu-shaped firework right inside his room. Not outside, not in a park, but right in his own room, surrounded by furniture, cables, and all sorts of things that could easily catch fire. As soon as he lit the fuse, sparks immediately flew in all directions. At first, Speed just laughed it off, but as the fire and sparks continued to spread, he started to panic. It looked like the whole room could catch fire at any moment, but fortunately nothing caught fire. The flames died down and nothing ignited. Clips from that live stream went viral online. There was even a user on Reddit who said, "People will really do the craziest things just for internet fame." You'd think almost burning down his house would be enough for him to learn his lesson. But not Speed. Fast forward to October 2023. iShowSpeed was live streaming from his room when he suddenly brought out another Pikachu firework. As soon as he lit the fuse, the fireworks exploded all over his room. Sparks were hitting the curtains and bouncing off the walls. It was total chaos. Speed quickly grabbed a pillow to block the flying sparks. Once again, it looked like his entire room could catch fire at any moment, but somehow he got lucky again. The fireworks ended before anything caught fire. Just like before, the video went viral again. But this time, many of his fans didn't find it funny. They were worried. They said what he's doing is already too risky. If the fire happened to spread, it could affect other houses. But even so, Speed's fan base grew even bigger. People continued to love him. And surprisingly, a year after he almost set his own room on fire, iShowSpeed was even named Streamer of the Year. Vitalis Dorovetski is now a streamer. But when he was just starting out, he was known as a prankster. His first viral video was titled Miami Zombie Attack Prank. Vitaly dressed up as a zombie and chased random people on the streets of Miami. The video blew up on the internet and he instantly became famous. But that was also the beginning of all the chaos that followed. After a few years, Vitalis uploaded another video. Its title was Russian Hitman Prank Gone Wrong. This time, he dressed up as a Russian gangster. He would approach random people and place a briefcase next to them. Then, he would tell them they only have 60 seconds to run away from it. Naturally, people thought there was something scary inside the briefcase, so they ran away. It didn't take long before someone called the police. Vitalis was arrested for charges related to making threats using a suspicious device. Eventually, the charges against him were dropped. But when the Russian hitman video went viral, Vitalis learned the wrong lesson. He thought that breaking the law was worth the risk if it would make him go viral. So, he brought his chaos to different countries. In 2014, Vitalis disrupted the 2014 FIFA World Cup final in Brazil. He ran onto the field with "Natural-born prankster" written on his chest. Security immediately tackled him, and he was jailed for one night. But he got the attention he wanted. In 2020, he flew to Egypt and climbed one of the pyramids. That was illegal, too. He was arrested by the Egyptian police and was jailed for 5 days. After that, he was deported and banned from returning to Egypt for life. And that became the pattern of his life. Travel to another country, do something illegal, get arrested, go viral. His followers grew. Vitalis became an international troublemaker. But it looks like he messed with the wrong country this time. In early 2025, Vitalis flew to the Philippines to create content there. This time, he was live streaming instead of making pre-recorded videos, and it didn't take long before he stirred up controversy. In one stream, he threatened to rob a woman. In another stream, he stole the hat of a police officer or a security guard and ran away. And that's not all. He caused even more trouble. For Vitalis, it was all just content, but for the viewers, it was too much. That's why some of them called the police. The police in the Philippines tracked down Vitalis Dorovetski and eventually arrested him. He was called an undesirable alien. This is a legal term for foreigners who violate local laws or disturb the peace of the country. And now, after being imprisoned, it seems he has returned to Russia and hopefully he won't repeat his mischief. Cenat was the king of Twitch in early 2024. He had the most subscribers on the platform, and he was obsessed with being number one. But on September 30th, Kai woke up to bad news. He was surpassed by another streamer, Ironmouse. Ironmouse had reached around 326,000 subscribers. That's almost 20,000 more than Kai. That means Ironmouse is now the top streamer on Twitch. Kai is desperate to get his spot back no matter what it takes. So he came up with a plan. Something that would surely bring in a huge number of subscribers. He will live stream continuously for 30 days, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Kai has already done a 30-day stream before, and he knows how exhausting that is, but he's willing to endure anything just to be number one again. He called it Mafia Ton 2, and it started on November 1st, 2024. Kai's room became like a stage. He played games, sang, hosted celebrity guests, and even while he slept, he was live on camera. But after 3 weeks without rest, Kai made a disturbing announcement.
Look at that cup. This blood is spit. I am sick. My chest is all clogged.
Viewers panicked, and it quickly became a headline online. Most people would have stopped streaming right after that, but not Kai. He still had 8 more days to go to reach 30 days. Kai was almost completely worn out, but he was desperate to keep people watching his stream. He needed a shocking scene to keep the viewers' attention, and that's when he called in a magician. Kai invited the magician Max Major to his stream. The plan was simple: a few magic tricks, some laughs, and extra energy for the stream. But there was one trick that went too far. As part of the show, Max set up 3 ropes on a wooden frame, similar to those used in the past for executing criminals. Then, he told Kai to pull one of the handles in front of him. If he pulled the wrong handle, it could be fatal for Max. But when Kai chose and pulled the handle, Max's body suddenly rose into the air. He had pulled the wrong handle, For a few terrifying seconds, everyone thought they had just witnessed someone die while on live stream, but it turned out to be part of a very realistic magic trick. Max the magician was fine. No one was hurt. But the viewers didn't find it funny. They were expecting a magic show, but what they felt was fear. And many blamed Kai. But in truth, he didn't know anything about the details of the prank before it happened. Controversy or not, Kai still didn't stop streaming. And after a few days, he finally reached his goal. 30 days of continuous live streaming. Dr. Disrespect is unique when it comes to streaming. He always wears sunglasses, a wig, and a fake mustache. He is also known for his non-stop trash talk. Every live stream of his is like a show. And fans never get tired of it. In 2017, he even won Streamer of the Year. But later on, he made a rather unusual decision. He just wanted to get more views. That's why he filmed something that should never have been caught on camera. This happened in June 2019 at E3 2019 in Los Angeles. Dr. Disrespect wanted to give his fans a behind-the-scenes experience. It's like they're walking with him at the event, but he went overboard with the idea of capturing every moment. While live streaming, Dr. Disrespect entered a public restroom. But he didn't turn off the camera. There were people inside. Someone was peeing at the urinal. Someone was washing their hands. And while that was happening, the live stream kept going. It wasn't just awkward. That was also illegal. In California, it's a crime to film inside a public restroom. And more than 60,000 viewers were watching at that time. Social media exploded immediately. People flooded Twitch and E3 with complaints. That's when Dr. Disrespect realized he was in big trouble. He was immediately given a 2-week ban by Twitch while he was also kicked out of the E3 convention. A week later, he released an apology. He said, "We got too carried away with the E3 IRL journey that we became blind to what was right and wrong. We meant no harm." Eventually, the scandal died down. Twitch lifted the ban and he returned to streaming. He got involved in other controversies after that, but that's another story. Carl Reamer doesn't look like the type of person who would do something crazy just for views. He's a professional Call of Duty player. He has over 100,000 followers on Twitch. He's also part of an esports team and doesn't get involved in drama. But one day, he let his emotions get the best of him and did something that made him go viral for the wrong reason. This happened on March 4, 2020. As usual, Carl was live streaming from his room. But that night was different. First of all, Carl had been drinking. It was obvious in the way he spoke because he was slurring and speaking slowly. Then, he started ranting about people who called him poor or broke. He was trying to look tough as if he wanted to scare those who were teasing him. Then, he reached for something off camera and suddenly pulled out a weapon. Suddenly, the weapon fired and the bullet hit his computer setup. Carl was stunned in shock. He immediately ended the stream. But it was too late. Thousands of viewers had already seen the whole incident, and by morning, the clip had already gone viral all over the internet. It seemed like everyone was talking about Carl Reamer after he accidentally fired his weapon while live streaming, and it looked like he had destroyed a $1,000 monitor. And the consequences were no joke. First, he was banned from Twitch for violating the platform's firearms policy. After that, his esports team immediately dropped him on the same day. Carl's career suddenly took a nosedive, so he made an apology video on YouTube. Then, he showed the clip again so that people who hadn't seen it yet could understand. He also begged his fans not to imitate him. After being banned from Twitch, Carl moved his streams to YouTube. But it was never the same as before. No matter what he did, someone would always mention the incident in the chat. Even though this happened back in 2020, almost 5 years ago, it seems like the internet will never forget about it. Natalie Reynolds. Natalie Reynolds is willing to do anything for attention, even if it means annoying or insulting other people. She goes to strangers' houses, asks weird questions, and live streams their reactions. Another time, she went to the gym wearing only body paint. People immediately noticed that and called her out. Even though her content is offensive, Natalie loves the drama. After that, the so-called braid incident happened. Natalie got into a fight with a woman who was angry because Natalie had braids. And after the confrontation, she posted even more videos showing off her braids. She really likes to stir things up. That's her trademark: annoying people, creating drama, and getting views. But what she did next wasn't just annoying anymore. This is already dangerous. In May 2024, Natalie did a live stream while walking in Austin. She was participating in a scavenger hunt at that time, a challenge where you have to look for hidden items to win a prize. As part of the challenge, she needed to find an RFID scanner. And because of that search, she ended up at a lake. She thought the scanner might be in the water. There, she saw a woman sitting near the lake. And that's where the problem started. Natalie offered the woman $20 in exchange for getting the scanner from the water. The woman said she didn't know how to swim. But Natalie didn't care about that. She kept forcing her to jump into the lake. While that was happening, Natalie just kept shouting. And finally, the woman did jump. But because she didn't know how to swim, the incident started. And what's even scarier, it seemed like Natalie wasn't even concerned. She even giggled while the woman struggled in the water. Someone nearby called 911, and that's when Natalie and her group did the worst part of all. They jumped into the vehicle and quickly left. They abandoned the woman in the lake while she was fighting for her life. While viewers were trembling in fear, someone commented that they just left her instead of helping her get out of the lake. Fortunately, emergency workers arrived immediately and rescued the woman. Meanwhile, Natalie's stream went viral. Thousands of people saw what she did and they were furious. Natalie tried to defend herself in a follow-up stream. After that, she suddenly disappeared from the internet for a few months. But in early 2025, she came back with an apology. Natalie also admitted that she was facing legal problems because of the incident. The investigation is still ongoing and her situation isn't good. She was placed under house arrest because of what happened. In the end, Natalie hasn't been imprisoned yet, but it seems like the internet will never forgive her for what she did to that woman. All these stories just prove one thing: not all attention is good attention. Friends, views come and go, but mistakes stay on the internet forever.